Hi guys, my name is Perla Cerrone. I'm a gold consultant, EVO 100, and IATAN card holder. And we are going to be talking about how to brand your travel business. Okay, so we are really going to just talk about, really go back to the basics, and really put yourself in a position where you are going to be trustworthy, be reliable, in comparison to a lot of the other travel agencies or travel agents in your area, right? So you really want to stand out. You really want to showcase who you are, what your mission is about, the clients that you are targeting, right? And so that's what we're going to talk about. So that way, of course, you can then be a successful travel agent in your business. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about why it's important to brand yourself and your business and how to do so in 7 easy steps. Okay, so it's very straightforward. You're going to realize, like, oh, wow, I didn't think of this sooner, right? But let's get started. So, why is it important to brand your business? It's important because you want to distinguish your business from competitors, right? So, competitors meaning other travel agents, other travel agencies. Now, obviously, we are all in the same business, we're all in the same market, but we don't all live in the same area. We're all spread out throughout the US, Mexico, Australia, right? But let's say you're comparing yourself to Steve, the travel agent that's down the street, right? You and Steve are both offering the same service. Okay, so it can be hard for you to stand out from Steve. So therefore, that's where branding comes in. That's where the importance of branding comes in. Your values, your story, your brand promise, this is all going to provide avenues through which you can showcase your uniqueness, and it's going to set you apart from others. It's also going to make you become more recognizable, more memorable. So that way, when clients see you, they see your brand, right? They can identify you instantly, right? They see your business logo and they're like, oh, yeah, I know Perla. She's a travel agent, right? So they can identify your business based on physical, visual, and or auditory elements, right? So if you're incorporating videos or reels or anything like that, it then creates a sense of familiarity, which turns into trust. It's also, this is most important as well, it's going to build customer and client loyalty. So you want to deliver unique experiences and messages that your audience can relate to in order to then form a bond, right? This emotional connection is going to then equal more customers or clients that are going to support your business. And then what's going to happen? The more clients that you receive, the more referrals, right? So advantage, you'll have repeat business, right? Those clients are going to want to come back to you. They're going to want to continue to use your services. Less churn, meaning they're not just going to come and use you for once and that's it, or they're not just going to come and use you for to price shop or something like that, right? And then more referrals, right? So the more clients you receive, the more word of mouth. So now let's move into how to actually brand your business in these 7 easy steps, right? So, number one, you want to identify your audience. You want to understand who your potential clients are or who they're going to be, right? So, a lot of people will then end up wanting to do like a niche, right? So, like singles or retired, right? Retired couples. But really you want to identify them first, and really understand what their pain point is. So when I say pain point, that's like, what is the reason why they are unable to book their own travel, right? So what is preventing them from booking their own travel? Is it because they are too busy? Like they are working crazy hours. They simply just don't have the time, right? So are you going to target people in that sense? Is it because they suck at finding deals or they just don't know where to start, right? You also then want to identify what their interests and their needs are, right? So this is where a niche may come in, right? So There are many types of travel targeted audiences. So, students, first time travelers, avid travelers, retired travelers, singles, couples, right? So, you kind of get the idea. And then you have to determine the reason they travel, right? So, what is the point of these targeted audiences traveling? What questions or problems they may encounter while traveling? And what they're missing out on if they don't use your travel services. Okay, so this is really going to make you think and hone in on who it is that you're trying to target. Okay, and remember, although yes, we are all in the same market, we're not all targeting the same audience. Okay, number two, you want to create a value proposition. This is like a brand promise. This is then going to describe how your solution to their pain point can solve their problems, right? Better than the other competitors. So you want to ask yourselves, why do my existing customers or clients choose me over others? What does my perfect customer or client really want? And how can my product or services solve their problems? So you want to create a unique selling proposition with answers to these questions using the voice of your customer. You want to communicate those benefits, what you intend to deliver, and why they should choose you over competitors. Number three, you want to then determine your mission and your value. So really think about, why does your business exist? Why did you want to become a travel agent in the first place? What prompted you to, right? Is it because you love travel? Is it because you're an avid traveler? Or maybe you just haven't really traveled much and you really want to get out there and dive into the travel industry and really take advantage of the travel perks and benefits that you really want to share with other people, right? So come up with a brand story. So your mission is going to answer this. You're always going to need a story to highlight how you can solve your clients' problems, get them to care about your business, and create an emotional connection. Okay. So, in order to write a powerful mission statement, it does not need to be this elaborate 5 paragraph paper, right? This is just going to be a brief few sentences describing the purpose of your business, who your clients are, the products or services that you offer, and how you do it, right? So you want to summarize this in a few words to make it memorable. Okay. So the purpose of your business, right? Let's say the purpose of your business is to provide travelers with affordable luxury experiences. Who your customers are or clients are, let's say that you're targeting retired couples. Products or services you offer, you can then say unique, tailored luxury vacation packages, and then how you do it, right? So by having access to over 100 different vendors and suppliers, blah, 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 right? So just summarizing this in a few words, really make yourself stand out. So that way, if someone comes across your page, they're able to read that mission statement and immediately have a grasp, an idea of who you are, what services you offer, and who you're targeting, right? And your core values. These are principles that drive your goals, your mission, and your vision. So, therefore, using generic words that don't necessarily define what you really stand for is going to lead to a conflicting brand image, right? So, be specific, use your own words, and ensure that your entire business embodies these principles, right? So, really, it can be very easy. I have been guilty of this in the beginning when I first started, that when you find someone within this business that you really like and you really like what they're doing in terms of their business and stuff like that, it can be very easy to take the easy way out and essentially copy and paste what they're doing. And in some situations, yes, that's okay. You want to copy the right cat, all of those things, right? But when it comes to actually branding yourself and really branching out and um setting yourself apart from others, this is where you really want to be unique, right? This is where, yes, you can get some ideas from other agents in the business, right? But really personalize it, be specific, right? And use your own words that it is going to encompass who you are. and everything that you are trying to fulfill in your business. Number 4, so you want to define your brand personality. So just like your regular personality, your brand personality is a combination of qualities that your organization exhibits, right? And every single one of our personalities is going to be different, okay? So these characteristics will attract people to your company and it's going to shape their perceptions. So having a personality that resonates with your clients is going to help you build an emotional connection and again stand out from other competitors, right? So you see what the theme is here. It's essentially having you build that connection, that bond with clients to then have you stand out from others. Okay. So just to kind of piggyback, you see the picture here on the slide, color emotion guide, right? Look at all of these different logos that we are all so familiar with, right? And if you think about it, they're all different colors, and you probably never really thought of why um, Kmart was red or why Target is in red, Nintendo, Kellogg's, right? But look at what red um, will bring out in someone in terms of emotions. Excitement. It's youthful, it's bold, right? Look at green. It brings out peace, growth, and health, right? And look at all of the different companies and brands that are green. John Deere, Whole Foods, Animal Planet, Land Rover, Tropicana, Monster, right? Hess, Starbucks. And when you look at these colors, you feel these things, right? And you don't, it's not something that you necessarily think of, but after, doing some reading and stuff like that on this specific training that I organized for you guys, it makes sense, right? And so you want to strategically use these colors to bring out certain emotions in clients. Okay. So number 5, creating a brand asset, right? So now that we have steps 1 through 4, the next step is going to choose elements that are going to identify your business. So these elements are going to be colors, right? As we spoke about on the previous slide, fonts, packaging, a slogan, and your logo, right? So certain colors evoke specific emotions and convey meanings. So the logo company suggests that red boosts energy levels, yellow is optimism, and purple activates the imagination, right? So as we can see on the previous side, yellow optimism, red excitement boosts energy levels, right? And purple, it boosts the imagination, right? Imaginative, wise, creative, right? So you can see these things, right? So these companies that have been around for years and years and years, or these businesses are using these strategies, right? So whichever logo, color scheme, and style that you choose to brand your business, ensure that it is distinctive and easily recognizable, right? So as I mentioned a little bit ago, you don't always want to copy what someone else is doing, right? Because it's just going to show like, oh, okay, they both have the same logo. But one is called Luxury Adventure Travels, the other one is called Destination Travels or something. You know what I mean? So really it's going to not stand like either one of them is not necessarily going to stand out if you're comparing both of them. So you need a face that can represent your business on the online and offline platforms. So this is where your logo comes in, right? I personally created my logo using Canva, but there's a bunch of different platforms out there. Canva is free. They do have a pro version for like a 30-day free trial. Otherwise, you can pay monthly for it. Or you can even have a graphic designer, right? And then on that point, you are even more unique and setting yourself apart, right? Because a lot of these other platforms are going to have templates that you can build off of. Unless if you are someone that can just create something off of a blank canvas. So to kind of piggyback off of the brand assets, look at these different companies or brands, right? And look at the fonts, okay? Look at how these fonts, look at how these companies, right, or brands are exhibiting this, right? So when you look at Disney, it exhibits sincerity. When you see Tesla, Red Bull, Coke, Nike, right, it's excitement. Why? Because when you see these brands, you automatically have this perception of what it is, right? Nike, it's sports apparel, shoes, right? Tesla, nice electric cars, right? Red Bull gives you wings, right? It's supposed to give you this excitement, this high, right? To keep pushing and pushing and all this energy. Volvo, Google, right? Competence. Tiffany, sophistication, right? When you think of Tiffany and Company, what do you think of? What's the first thing that you think of? A bright blue box with a white ribbon, right? Sophisticated, Rolex, Gucci, Apple. And then, of course, down here, ruggedness, right? When you see the Harley Davidson logo, what do you immediately think of? To me, it's like these tatted up big guys with leather jackets and bandanas, right? They're tough, they're rugged. Timberland, same thing. Jeep, same thing, right? What are all the Jeep commercials showing Jeeps literally driving 90 degrees on a mountain or something, right? So they're in all aspects of Jeep and their advertising and their marketing in their commercials, right? It exhibits ruggedness. Marlboro, sorry, same thing. Cigarettes. Okay, so you see how these companies are successfully doing this year after year because they know what they're doing. So same thing, you want to implement then in your business. Now that you have all of your branding elements ready, your logo, colors, all of these things, now you want to integrate them across your channels, right? Now you really want to make sure that from your Facebook business page to your Instagram, to your YouTube, to your TikTok, to Threads now, right? Everything is uniform. Everything is the same, right? You don't want to have one logo on one social media platform and then another logo on LinkedIn, right? So you really want to distribute them across your channels equally. Now on this part in particular, for those that are using a website outside of the one that Archer provides for us, you can then have a lengthier version of your mission statement. So, which could be like your brand story on your About Us page or About Me page. Okay. So obviously the website that Archer provides us is already created, right? You have a small section that you can customize, but a lot of agents have decided to create their own websites and really personalize and really brand themselves. This is where that comes from, right? So now you can then create something a little bit longer to really showcase who you are. Okay. Keep in mind that branding is an ongoing process for as long as your company or your business exists, right? So it's not something that you just do once and then that's it, you're done, right? It's something that's ongoing, it's evolving. For example, when I started, I had a specific logo, and I think it was sometime last year I changed it to something completely different that I wanted to change, right? And I just changed it again this year. Still kept the same concept, but just changed it to really encompass what I'm about, right? And of course, it's trial and error. We're human, right? This was all new to me when I started. And so the longer that I'm here in this business, the more that I learn. And same thing for you guys. It's okay if you change things. It's okay if you experiment with this font versus the other font, or this color versus the other color, right? It's an ongoing process. And then the last one, right? You want to be consistent. Okay, so according to Marketing Nuts, it takes up to 5 to 7 brand impressions before an individual can recall your brand. So, meaning someone has to see your business logo or your business or something come up 5 to 7 times. Impressions means how many times it came up on a feed that someone saw, right? So it has to come up 5 to 7 times before someone can recall it. right? Where they can hear your business name and they immediately think of your logo, or they see your logo and they immediately think of you and your business name, right? So, from your website to social media channels and offline interactions with customers, branding must be consistent. Okay. This is key and this is crucial. This is another reason why I kind of branched off and created my own website, because I wanted to be consistent. I really wanted to branch out and brand myself. And I knew that I could only do that if I had my own website to really talk about who I am, services I offer, etc., etc. Okay. Now, this is not saying that you will not be successful using Archer's website. You 100% certainly will. That was just my personal experience and my personal opinion. So ask yourself, is your brand voice youthful and casual on socials? Then there's no need to be stiff and posh on your blogs, right? So be consistent in how you are expressing yourself too, right? So if you're super chill and laid back on how you're expressing yourself, right? Don't try to come with a different attitude or different persona elsewhere. Okay. Your customers should know exactly what to expect and feel once they see your content, your logos, and other brand assets. Okay. So remember that consistency builds familiarity, trust, and loyalty. And these feelings reflect successful branding. Okay. All right, guys. I hope this training was helpful. Remember, this is very straightforward. Get into your business, brand yourself up so that way you can get some great clients.